morning. Welcome to the Shawnee Mission School District Center for Academic Achievement and to the Next Great Idea Pitch Competition Finals. You have an exciting viewing experience ahead, and we are so glad you're with us this morning. The Next Great Idea competition is part of the district's Research and Development Forum, which is in its 61st year, thanks to the generosity and support of the Rainier family. We're pleased to have Mr. Bob Rainier with us representing the family this morning. I'd also like to recognize our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Michelle Hubbard, who is with us this morning. It's an exciting morning, and I'd like to start by acknowledging our partners at Startland. Their mission is to inspire the new generation of innovators, starters, and problem solvers who have supported our students during this entire process. They have brought us mentors during practice sessions, and they have recruited some wonderful judges who we will meet in a moment. So we really appreciate our Startland partners. We are so excited today to find the next great idea right here in the Shawnee Mission School District, and you are here to help us discover that next great idea. The Shawnee Mission students have been working really hard for the past several weeks just to get to this point. So today, you will hear the top 9 finalists pitching to compete for really some amazing prizes. So we thought we might begin today by highlighting some winners from our past 2 competitions, sharing some updates, and talking about the experience and what that investment has meant to them. Let's take a look.
My name is Grady Freudy, and my project is on bird strike prevention. My idea was to put ultraviolet paint on planes because there's been a big rise in bird strikes over the past few years.
My name is Siri Freudy, and my project was the safety sticker. The safety sticker is a sticker that you basically just put on, and you can just tap it 3 times and it'll sound an alarm so that whenever you're in trouble, you can draw people's attention and get help if you need it.
The next great idea was fun because I got to go up on a stage in front of a crowd of people and present an idea.
Yeah, this was just a great learning experience because it just helped me improve on so many life skills. It made me a lot smarter at everything that my project has worked on.
And it was rewarding too. It felt good to get out there and try to make a difference in the world.
So far, I've gotten the little mechanical chip that I need to do it, and we should have a prototype in about 2 weeks.
The next steps I took were reaching out to people who could help me, and I was seeing if they could give me some information on whether they could see ultraviolet light or reacted to it and which way they reacted to it.
Thank you to the Rainier family for making our idea come to life.
My name is Nathan Mistel, and my project is the Milk of Human Kindness. The Milk of Human Kindness, we're an organization with charitable intent focused on educating about food waste and why it's an issue. The Next Great Idea competition, it was incredibly helpful. I feel like coming out of it, I've grown in many ways, that my communication has been improved. I did a lot of outreach and networking with people, so I've got plenty of practice with writing emails and making phone calls. But I mean, this is pretty much the ultimate summer project. I'm starting my own business. And I absolutely couldn't have done it either. Probably I wouldn't have had the resources and definitely not the drive to be able to just start my own business on my own. So I'm absolutely super thankful to the Shawnee Mission R&D Forum and SMSD for helping me do this and further my dreams. It's been a great experience.
So thanks to Grady and Siri. We hope Grady will keep persevering, and we can't wait to see Siri's prototype. Nathan, incidentally, he actually had a very successful run in his market with his business last year, and he is now at Shawnee Mission West as a high school student, and he has actually pressed pause for a minute on his business to be able to fully focus. As you can imagine, he is involved in a lot of different activities and wanted to have that full high school experience. So we will look forward to watching where he goes in the future. We are so proud of the students that we featured, but really of all of the students that are taking part in this Next Great Idea pitch competition. And these experiences really support the work that we are doing as educators and working with partners in the community to provide our students with some real world learning opportunities. All right, we are ready, just about, to hear our 9 pitch finalists. We're going to hear them back to back this morning, so grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and get ready to enjoy the show. Be sure to pay close attention to all the pitches, as you are going to have a chance to help us determine one of the prize winners today, the People's Choice Award. We have several prizes, so let's talk a little bit about those first. The Idea of Promise Award is a $500 cash award, and that is awarded to a student whose concept really shows possibility. We have the People's Choice Award, also a $500 cash award, and that will be awarded based on what you, the viewers, how you vote. Voting will open. It'll be a 1-hour window. It'll open online and go from 11:30 to 12:30. We'll be putting up the link during the broadcast, and it's also on our website at smsd.org. So stay tuned and make sure that you vote for your favorite pitch to help with the People's Choice Award. And then lastly, of course, we will award 3 top innovators with an award of up to $2,500 for each participant to be able to put towards their education, and also a portion of that will be available for them to further their idea. We've invited some very special judges as guests today to help us determine our winners. These accomplished individuals are innovators and entrepreneurs, and we are so pleased to have them sharing their time and their talents with us today. Let me introduce them. First, we have Melanie Haas. She is a problem solver and very passionate about education. She's an engineering manager at Ascend Learning, and Melanie is also a Kansas State Board of Education member representing District 2. Melanie, incidentally, has served as a judge previously, and we thank her for returning this year to help judge the newest innovations from the students in Shawnee Mission. We have Ben Cloud. Ben is the founder and CEO of Cloud's Coffee, a Kansas City-based coffee roasting company, which he founded at 15 years of age while a student right here in the Shawnee Mission School District. Ben developed a passion for entrepreneurship after taking several business classes at Shawnee Mission North as a sophomore. Several years later, Ben is still encouraged by hard work and dedication while giving back to the community and other young entrepreneurs. Welcome, Ben. Komal Carr is the founder of Eye of an Immigrant, a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to sharing the stories of the immigrant journey and to providing resources and funds for immigrants to gain a legal pathway to citizenship. She started Eye of an Immigrant during her junior year of high school. Today, she's a freshman at the University of Kansas, majoring in political science and business administration with a minor in intelligence and national security studies on the pre-law track in the honors program. She continues her passion for youth activism and involvement in local government. Welcome, Komal. So again, thanks to our judges for being here. The format today is that each student innovator will have about 3 minutes to present their idea, followed by 2 minutes of question and answer with our judges. After those 2 minutes, we'll leave some time for the judges to record their scores as we prepare for the next pitch. All right, judges, are you ready? Audience, family members, are you ready? All right, here we go. Let's get started. Our first innovator today is Dia Thomas. Dia is actually a veteran of the Next Great Idea Pitch competition. If you were with us last year, you saw her pitch last year, but she's back, and she's back with a new idea, and she is a 5th grader from Highlands Elementary School, and she is presenting the baby bracelet. Help me welcome Dia.
Have you ever wondered why your baby is crying? Chances are, if you're a parent, that's all you do 24/7. Nothing is more worrisome than not knowing what is causing your baby discomfort or if he or she is at risk. Now, imagine if your baby was one of thousands that were taken each year by natural and unnatural causes, and there was nothing you could have done to prevent it. When my sister and I were kids, my parents would have trouble dealing with us. They didn't always know when we were feeling discomfort. After hearing these stories, I started to realize how troubling these worries actually were. For this reason, I've created the baby bracelet. The baby bracelet is a wearable device that monitors an infant's motion, temperature, heart rate, sleep, and sound. The baby bracelet's main purpose is to give new parents a peace of mind and to make sure that their kid is safe at all times. This device can be worn on an ankle too. It will still detect everything needed. An app will be created to support other necessities. The baby bracelet will send a notification to the app if the accelerometer detects a sudden spike in motion, if temperature is below 95 or above 100 degrees, if heart rate goes down dramatically, or if the baby is crying. If you would like to see the baby's history, it will refresh each week for updated information. The baby bracelet started out with only a few features: heart rate, sleep, motion, and sound detection. After speaking with potential customers, such as parents with infants, I received feedback that would improve my invention, such as adding a temperature monitor to detect unnatural temperature fluctuations. The baby bracelet uses Circuit Playground Bluetooth and BLE. BLE is a wireless communication system that allows devices to connect with each other. Circuit Playgrounds already include all the features needed, such as heart rate, sleep, motion, temperature, and sound detection. Some of them even come with wearable bands. Similar ideas have been invented. For example, the Owlet. The Owlet is a baby monitor that tracks sleep, heart rate, and oxygen levels. However, the baby bracelet includes more things to relieve parents' and infants' lives. The Owlet has a price as high as $225, while the baby bracelet will only cost $120. While the baby bracelet may also seem similar to an Apple Watch, the baby bracelet is targeted towards infants and has more features to detect any risks. To have this device be a real invention, I need about 4 developers: firmware, iOS/frontend, hardware, and backend. I will use freelance developers' help first. They will get paid $30 per hour. Once I register a company in my name and get initial funding, I will hire more experienced developers. After putting the baby bracelet on the market, I will record the data of how popular it is. If the baby bracelet is attracting the attention of a considerable amount of customers, I will release another model with more features. For example, a GPS tracker. Having the baby bracelet will be sure to make your early parent life less stressful and worrisome. After ordering this device, you can ensure your baby's health and safety for a long time. Thank you. Any questions?
Great job. Great job. Way to start and kick it off. I'll have you step right up to the front, and we will start your time with the judges.
I'll go first. Can you tell us how you landed on this as your idea for this competition? What was your motivator behind this?
So when my sister and I were kids, my mom would have trouble dealing with us. So during quarantine, she would tell us a lot of stories about this, and I started to realize, like, oh my gosh, this is so troubling. And like, I did some research on technology to see how this could be a real invention, and I got the Circuit Playground in BLE, and after a lot of trial and error and research, I came up with this.
How was the process talking to the parents and like different stakeholders about what they wanted to see in the bracelet?
So the process was, I would first tell them what the idea was, and they would tell me what they didn't like and what they liked, and I would put that in my data and see if they had anything for suggestions. And most of the suggestions were like temperature, and some of them I couldn't add in, but I could definitely see if I could add that in different models.
Have you done any sort of testing with this product?
No, I have not, but I definitely researched the Circuit Playground in BLE, and after seeing videos on it and how it works, I saw like different ways, different circuit playgrounds, and I've chosen the Blue Fruit. So,
Got one more for you. How did you estimate your costs for development?
So I estimated the cost for development after putting in my marketing and then how much the circuit playground costs, which is between $25 to $30. And I'm not using a BLE, I'm using a BLE chip, and that's only $1 to $2. So after doing all those calculations, I did $120, and the app will have to be free because I want it to make it accessible for everyone to use.
Thank you.
All right, give another round of applause for Dia Thomas. We're going to give our judges a chance to jot down some notes and tabulate the scores, and we will be back at 9:30. Throughout the morning, we will be sharing some other student pitches that were submitted this year, so we will be back and see you shortly.
The largest organism on Earth spans 2.5 square miles and is made up of an underground mycelium network. The mycelium network is the root system of a mushroom. The only limit the organism knows is the nutrients it's provided. My name is Elaine Gast. Imagine a network for students in the community that can support real-world learning, sustainable agriculture promoting highly nutritious food grown on low-cost materials like compost and straw, and cooperative research between engineering, biotechnology, and culinary programs. What single system can tackle the most complex problems? Well, there's a simple answer: a mushroom farm. A student-run mushroom farm for the district provides the platforms for students to learn how to run a business. Through that, they can sell mushrooms at the farmer's market, and they can sell homegrown kits. This opens up the conversation to learning about urban agriculture, sustainable and ethical food practice. And it also provides the community the highly nutritious source of protein at a very low cost.
Yeah.
This isn't just a dream. It's already happening. In the past few months, I've been developing ways to grow mushrooms at a low-cost way. The mushrooms I've grown have been used in the bistro restaurant nights. And we're starting a research project on mycelium as a fiberglass alternative. Any question you have about mushrooms, students could come here and answer it. Mushrooms could be used in the community to keep opening the conversation up about what does it mean to have local food and why should our food be ethically sourced. But with all the work we've been doing so far, I know it can reach further. And in order to do that, I need the nutrients or the resources to go along with it. I need the money to be able to set up an environment to reliably grow mushrooms. I'll need a tent, a humidifier, and lights. But most importantly, I need your support. This project only matters if you decide to value the next generation. This is more than a food solution that overcomes limited resources, gives back to the soil, and is low cost because it teaches lessons that are greater than that. Start asking, what problems could mushrooms solve? Because trust me, from carbon fixing to absorbing oil spills, from solving mazes and becoming computers, the reach of the mycelium network has no limits as long as it has enough nutrients. I appreciate your time and your attention. Value your students. Value our earth. Fund a mushroom farm.
We are back. I was talking with the judges during the break, and the consensus is this is amazing. So next up, we have Paige Bean. She is a 9th grade student at Shawnee Mission East, and she is here with her project, East's EV Charging Station. Take it away, Paige.
Using paper straws, reusable water bottles, and turning your lights down will not cut it anymore. We have to start looking at our global impact and begin with our daily commutes. Electric cars are our future. They're more affordable and more popular than ever before. Why are we still using gas-powered cars that pollute our only Earth? As a teenage girl, I can't stop climate change. Temperatures are continuously rising and putting us all in danger. Gas-powered cars are the reason for over 25% of global warming. Car manufacturers are abandoning the gas-powered engine and shifting to battery-powered vehicles. For example, all of these car companies are going fully electric by the year 2035. This means that by the time the current kindergartners graduate high school, none of these car companies will make any gas-powered cars. Currently, over a dozen staff members and students drive to Shawnee Mission East in a fully electric car or hybrid electric car each day. In an effort to combat climate change, I propose to have 2 charging stations installed in our parking lot. Eventually, as other schools in our district have rising numbers of staff and students with electric cars, this is something I'd like to spread to the whole district. Having charging stations at our school will encourage the rest of our community and area to look at their environmental impact. For events held at Shawnee Mission East involving parents, visitors, or pool goers this summer, they will be charged a low rate per hour, and this will pay off the rate of the chargers and eventually be turned into profit for all investors involved. Caroline Wood, a senior writer from our student-run publication, The Harbinger, wrote an article looking at the possible impact of these charging stations. She includes interviews from East Administrator Dr. Leonard and students with electric cars. They all support and back the project. I am asking for $7,000 to have these chargers installed. A dual charge point charger costs $2,400 annually for 5 years, but Everjeep supplies a $5,000 rebate for 2 ports. Eventually, when full funding is received, this $5,000 can be taken off the final price. Drivers of electric vehicles would be able to use these charging stations for free with a student or staff ID. There are similar chargers installed here that do not charge people to charge their cars. These principles can be applied at Shawnee Mission East as well. I will not be receiving $7,000 from the Research Development Forum today, and I understand that, but any funding I do receive will be put towards planned fundraising. This is something I would hope to see with other SMSD schools over time. This is also a very exciting investment opportunity, and Shawnee Mission East can be one of the first schools to hop onto this exciting opportunity and create steady, clean income for years to come. I want the City of Prairie Village, the school district, and students and faculty of Shawnee Mission East to understand the desperation being caused by climate change. I want their students to understand that they are more than willing to solve global warming. Once these spots are installed, they will help reduce local greenhouse gas emissions, hopefully encourage more drivers to switch to electric vehicles. Thank you.
Great job, Paige. Step right forward, and we'll open up the Q&A with the judges.
Great job, Paige.
Thank you.
So when I think about the research and the development effort that you've put into this project, you cited some of the statistics up front about global warming. I'm curious, how will you measure the success of your project when it's finished?
So I have worked with East Administration and the bookkeeping, and they both said that they would be able to measure the money that comes in, and then also we would look at the amount of students and staff that have electric cars, just like we did with the Harbinger poll.
Thank you.
Looking at like the entire East population, do you know how many students actually drive electric vehicles and how this would affect students?
Currently we have 13 staff members and students, but I know that number is only going to grow.
Okay.
When do you expect to get a return on this investment?
When they're put in commercial areas, you usually get your money back in 6 months to a year, but I understand that that's going to take longer as I'm not going to charge students and staff. But I think that with my funding, it's going to take 2 to 3 years.
I see we've still got a little bit of time. What would your bigger vision be? Say that this is successful. What do you want to do next?
Eventually have Shawnee Mission East look more at their global impact, put in solar panels and more environmentally friendly projects, but also have other schools put in charging stations.
Other questions? Good.
I've got one more question. Do you think putting in these charging stations would kind of spearhead an effort to people purchasing more electric vehicles?
I would hope so. I mean, I think that it's encouraging if you see those at your local public school.
All right, another round of applause for Paige. We'll give our judges just a few minutes to make some notes, and we'll be back at 9:45.
My next great idea presentation is turning schools green with hallway gardens. The most stressful place in school is the hallways. It's loud and it's stuffy. Everyone is pushing and shoving, trying to get where they need to go. It feels crowded and cramped, and is the worst part of the day for many students and teachers. How can we make the 4 minutes between classes better? How could it be less stressful and more calming? What students and teachers need is a breath of fresh air. Nature has always been a calming place for me. If I'm feeling stressed, it helps to go outside, be around the tall trees, beautiful plants, and fresh air. And I'm not alone. Many studies have found that viewing real plants or even just pictures of nature resulted in many positive effects, including reduced heart rate, lower stress levels, and better concentration. So the best way to make hallways a better place is to bring nature inside. Some hallways already have windows, but the small gardens can provide the same benefits in those that don't. All plants need water, so gardens would be equipped with a sprinkler system and a grow light to support the plants in an environment with no natural light. The gardens could be attached high on the walls so they don't take up space in the hallway and are surrounded by plexiglass to protect the plants. Of course, the top will be open to let in air. But what benefits will students actually get from hallway gardens? First of all, the plants in the gardens will help filter hallway air. One study done by NASA shows that inside air is around 30% more toxic than normal outside air. It is also found that plants can filter up to 90% of those toxins and chemicals. Another benefit that was previously stated is that just being around nature can make you calmer and more focused, which is exactly what students need while going from class to class. Hallway gardens will also help with science classes understand the plants through hands-on learning. The plants in the gardens will provide real-life examples of photosynthesis and other plant-based processes. So how do we make this idea reality? To install hallway gardens, the school would have to give permission and the ideal location. Once they are built, science classes would pick the best plants for the gardens. One way to get these plants would have a fundraiser or donations from parents and teachers. After the hallway gardens are working, schools can teach about plants and spread awareness about how plants are important to the earth. So these small gardens could have a big impact on students and eventually the community that we live in. To summarize, hanging gardens would improve windowless hallways by providing fresh air, real-life plant learning, and a sense of calm and relaxation to students and teachers. Hallway gardens are the next step in giving schools a breath of fresh air.
Welcome back. We are ready for our third innovator. We have Kellen Arnold, a 5th grader from Lenexa Hills Elementary School, with his project, Science for Schools.
Hi, my name's Kellen Arnold, and this is my presentation on Science for Schools. Did you know that stars are made of gases? Did you know that everything in our universe is made up of tiny molecules called atoms? Did you know that 71% of Earth is made up of water? You probably did, and that's great, but we want to know more. Science classes in schools need to capture students' interest and provide real-world application of scientific concepts. By 5th and 6th grade, most students are deciding whether they are interested in a STEM field. So this is the ideal time to capture our interest. Plus, STEM occupations are projected to grow 10.8% between 2021 and 2031. The solution is Science for Schools, a program that connects professionals in STEM fields with local grade schools where they volunteer to teach a 5th or 6th grade class in their area of expertise. The goal is to get companies on board who allow their employees to donate some of their time. Then teachers sign up for certain topics on the website and are matched with local STEM professionals. I've already had a conversation with a local astronomer who has agreed to speak to our class. The plan is to use $1,000 for website development while getting the word out to potential corporate partners. We would then use $500 for a science teacher to come in and review/revise the topics in the website. Our future depends on science. Science for Schools is advanced learning plus giving plus community connection. Our time to act is now. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you. All right, step right forward. And judges, we have some questions.
Well, Kellen, you're really in my wheelhouse since I work with educators through the State Board of Education, and we know that there is a teacher shortage that's ongoing, and this is a really interesting way to bring people into a classroom. Can you tell me a little bit more about your conversations with either potential teachers, like the person that you talked about that you've recruited already, or perhaps the companies that they work for?
So most likely we would email like companies and then see if they maybe wanted to have like a in-person meeting or a virtual meeting about letting their employees donate some of their time. Then we would talk about it, and if they said yes, then great. If they said no, too bad. But yeah.
Thank you.
So this is awesome. I am one of the kids that did not like science, and I did determine that in like 4th grade. So I'm just curious, what inspired you to take this on and choose this to be your project?
So I am in a C class in Sunflower Elementary, and so I was thinking of ideas for the next greatest pitch idea competition, and I came across things that I like and came across science, and I was thinking, well, I think science, in my opinion, might need some more focus on it, some more, yeah.
Do you expect this to just be at your school, or are you hoping for the outreach to be all across the Shawnee Mission School District?
I was thinking that it would be bigger than my school, and it's going to be a website, so anyone who sees it can volunteer for it. So it could be bigger than Shawnee Mission, but people like you guys could spread the word and make it bigger. So, yeah.
All right, big round of applause for Kellen. We will be back at 10 o'clock. We'll give the judges some time, and we will see you shortly. Thank you.
Cleaning and organizing is a practice, not a project. Quote by Megan Francis. She has a point in her words. We should maintain and practice healthy cleaning patterns when we get the chance, because cleaning is something that you should do on a daily basis. But not everyone thinks this way. To others, the simple objective of cleaning and reorganizing your home feels more like a project and may be deemed as pointless, when in fact, it is not. To put it simply, chores are boring, which can cause procrastination. This doesn't necessarily mean that people are lazy. It's quite the opposite, actually. At least half of American homes are usually pretty much always clean, while only 1% of people never lift a finger to do the dirty work. About 1 in 4 respondents can clean once a day, and another 23% try to at least put in some effort to clean, but sometimes they slip up occasionally. But can you really blame them? Chores and/or the aspect of cleaning can seem overwhelming and deeming, which causes people to procrastinate, which causes them to lose motivation, and that right there is the problem. So the solution is motivation. Motivation can come in many forms: listening to music, compensation of some sort, but even more so, there's motivation that comes to talking and having others around while you do those chores. Having people to talk to and to potentially help you do the job makes the aspect of cleaning less overwhelming and tiresome, and it helps the cleaning process go by faster, and the work gets done more efficiently. That's what my business revolves around. It's less of letting someone do the chores for you, but instead learning ways to motivate and clean while also having someone there to help you through it, a cleaning partner. If anything, I would ask for $1,500 just so I have at least some money to potentially make a small storefront for people to come by and to talk, and for potentially uniforms in the future, and to get proper cleaning supplies just in case the customer doesn't have the supplies themselves. And that is it. Thank you so much for listening.
Well, we've been wowed by some pretty amazing pitches, and we're going to keep it rolling with a dynamic team of Isla Hensley, Claire Troutwine, Ellen Cook, Harper Feeser, and May Hess, all sixth graders at Westwood View, with their idea, Girls Supporting Girls.
Hi, I'm Claire.
Isla, May,
Harper,
and Ellen.
and we are Girls Supporting Girls.
Have you ever felt like you were around similar people with similar thoughts, ideas, worldviews, and culture? In our 7 years of school and our future 6 years, we will not be exposed to differences that prepare us for the real world. This is our current reality for us and many kids for our generation.
This may seem like a great thing, but scientific studies have shown that it is incredibly important to be exposed to variation in early life. Most people only feel comfortable around people they know, but with GSG, we want them to get out of their comfort zone and make new friends and interact with new people.
In the past 2 weeks, we have interviewed 75 students who are ages 11 to 18, and overwhelming responses were that girls our age and up feel disconnected from other girls. They don't feel that they're regularly contacting with people with differences and would love to be a part of a group that does interact consistently.
Our numbers increased by 700% throughout our years of school at SMSD, but as we go, nothing changes.
We're not being prepared to collaborate and cooperate with girls our age and up, especially with those with different backgrounds than ourselves. Girls Supporting Girls will help resolve those problems.
We are creating a multiracial, multi-ethnic gathering once a month in a donated space. We will be doing team building activities like playing games and creating solutions together to important topics like body positivity and sexism.
For our plan, we will have 10 schools sign up. We are already in relationship with AFIA School District and in communication with Turner School District. We also have a $10 entry fee, and there is no other student-led cross-cultural network that exists.
We had our first meeting with the AFIA, and it was amazing. We shared pitches and made new friendships. We've also contacted Race Project KC, which was begun by the Kansas City Library, and we are also in contact with the Turner School District and have plans to meet with a 6th grade class.
Here's a glimpse of our budget. We are asking for $1,500 total. We want $350 to create our website, $200 for our designated space, if not donated, $400 for food and drink, $150 for materials, $100 for music or DJ, and $300 for our curricula. We are seeking additional sponsors outside of SMSD to support ongoing financial needs.
Girls Supporting Girls is a powerful way to empower girls and create a strong community when you most need it. We invite you to volunteer space, connections, or donate to our local network of Girls Supporting Girls. Thank you for listening to our pitch.
Great job. I'm excited to hear what questions the judges have for you.
So in your research, I would like to hear a little bit more about the challenges that you identified. It sounds like you probably have a couple of adults involved right now, but what does that look like in the future, and what else will you need?
Okay, so in the future, it's going to be obviously student-led, like we said, so the girls we will lead it, but there will be adults kind of overseeing it, but we found that maybe it's better when you can relate. So girls who are in this group can relate to us more than they could relate to an adult.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you guys see this staying like within schools, or is this something you want to expand outside of schools as like a community organization?
So first we kind of see it more in our like Kansas and like our like school district, and then we're like hoping to expand to more schools and districts outside of Kansas and in like neighboring states, and then we want to expand to the US, and then finally we would like to expand globally.
Is there a specific age group demographic that you all are trying to target? Is it grade school students? Is it going to move into middle school? Is it going to move into high school? What does that look like there?
As we mentioned before in our slides, our target audience is ages 11 through 18. So that is maybe middle school students to high school students. And obviously, I think that we will have different, like, similar age groups grouped together in these meetings that we have, but the overall age group is 11 through 18.
All right. Excellent work. Let's give another hand to Girls Supporting Girls. We'll give our judges some time, and we will be back at 10:15.
Did you know that about 1,800 pounds of trash gets put in the landfill per person per year? That's the weight of a Kodiak bear. My name's Nolan Biaggioli, and I'm here to talk trash. I went to the landfill one day and there was tons of trash. They had to have a big hole to fit all the trash. Experts believe that we will run out of landfill space in Kansas City by 2050, and cities are fighting over where to put the new landfill. That tells us that we are throwing way too much away. The problem that I'm trying to solve is that there's too much trash in the landfill. Trash rots on Earth for 500 years and might blow away or seep into the ground, and it takes up tons of space. According to data from the Environmental Protection Agency, in 2018, 75% of things thrown in the landfill could actually be recycled or composted. Things like paper, plastic, yard trimmings, food, glass, and wood. This shows us that of all the things we're doing to try to reduce trash and encourage recycling and composting, it's just not working. Step one of my solution was to launch a survey asking if the financial reward of $5 a week would be enough to encourage people to fill a trash can only one half the size they normally use in a week. I surveyed 10 people. Out of those 10 people, 9 people said yes. 1 person said no. The person that said no said that about $20 a week would be enough to encourage them to do it. Step 2 is to try my solution in Prairie Village. If households succeed in filling a half-size trash can, they get the $5 reward. If this works, I'd reach out to other cities and towns and tell them that this idea actually works. My city did my solution and they succeeded, so you should try it as well. The best part about this is that small cans actually exist. The standard Republic Services size trash can is 65 gallons, while the lowest is 35 gallons. All you have to do is ask for a 35-gallon trash can and they'll give you it. As I mentioned when I was talking about the problem, people simply aren't recycling and composting and throwing less trash away. I think an incentive will help people recycle and compost more. Some other examples of giving people financial rewards for doing things that are good are that if you donate to charity, you don't have to pay as much in taxes. And if you buy an electric car or put solar panels on your roof, you don't have to pay as much in taxes. We do it there. Let's do it here. To get my solution off the ground, I'm going to need one thing. What I need is money to pay the $5 a week to a pilot group of people who are using a half-size trash can. If the pilot program had 20 members at $5 a week for 10 weeks, that would cost $1,000. So I am requesting for $1,000 to run my pilot program. Thank you for your time and thanks for talking trash with me.
We're back. All right, we're going to keep the excitement going. We have what looks like a prototype here. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Henry Hipp. He's a 5th grader at Trailwood Elementary School with his idea, the Meow Bot.
I've been in charge of cleaning the litter box before, and it was just annoying because at least 3 times a week, you'd have to go scoop up the litter, throw it in the trash can, and come back for more until there was no waste left. Then you'd have to refill the litter. I made sure people felt the same way by doing a survey, and most people said they hated it. That's why, when I signed up for the science fair, I knew I wanted to make the Meow Bot, an automatic cat litter box. It walks by a motor on the top that is connected to an electrical timer, so it can go once or twice a day at any given time that the owner can choose. That motor is also connected to a rope that is connected to a perforated piece of metal, and so it will slowly go up, and since it's after the cat does its business at any given time, it will slowly go up, and since it's perforated, the sand will fall through, but the waste will stay on and slide into a small trash can that'll be right over here. It also has an automatic litter dispenser included. This works by a large tube on the top that is filled with litter. It has holes on the top and is hot glued to an electrical timer, so it'll slowly turn, and when it gets to the side with the litter, it'll slowly leak down litter. This is a video of it working with a baby block. As you can see, it takes the baby block up and slides into the small trash can. The baby block represents the cat waste. There are already some automatic cat litter boxes in the world, but here are some reasons why mine is better. They're expensive. Most range from $200 to $1,100. Mine is $125. They're loud. Mine only has a soft humming noise. The sensors don't work for cats that weigh less than 5 pounds. Mine doesn't have a sensor. The scoops get clunky or clogged. Mine doesn't have a scoop, and the cat has to jump to get in it. Mine, the cat can walk right in. Here's my cost analysis. I've done research on every product I will need, and it'll be around $80. So if I set the price at $125, I'll make a profit of around $45. I made sure people were willing to pay this in the survey, and most people said they'd pay it. Here is my budget. If I win the prize money, I will make an improved version of the original by hiring a designer, make a website, find ways to advertise these, and research ways to produce these in larger numbers. I think the Meowbot could help lots of people around the world, and thank you for considering me for the next Good Idea Pitch competition.
All right, well done, Henry. Just a reminder, audience, Henry is a 5th grader. All right, judges, what questions do you have for Henry?
Great presentation, Henry. Thank you. You did some wonderful R&D here. I'm curious, how many prototypes have you been through? Because I see a lot of detail in what you've conceived so far.
I have only made this one, but I made the original, and then I tried a bunch of different types with it. So originally it wasn't gonna have the little dispenser, but then I added that so that it would be even better, and so yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see this going in the long run?
What?
Where do you see this going in the long run?
I see it becoming a little more to where, one of the reasons why there's the little dispenser is so it can dispense litter on top of the perforated piece of metal, so that the cat won't have to use the restroom on a perforated piece of metal. But I think I would find a way to put the metal under the litter.
How do you plan to market this product? Obviously, there are other similar products, but how are you going to go out and tell potential customers that your product is better? How are you going to get that to them?
I think I would hire or pay some websites that support cats, or like the Cat Cafe or stuff like that, to advertise mine. And in my website, obviously, I would show the price in the description, and I would show that the price is better and that it works a little better.
Other questions? We're good? All right, another round of applause for Henry. Henry, we tried to throw you a curveball, but you're poised. Well done. All right, let's see. We will be back at 10:30. We'll give judges a little bit of time to jot some notes. Thank you.
This is my next great idea project, climate change awareness. The problem. Climate change is destroying the Earth, and humans are making it worse. Most people don't know the effects they have on climate change or the effects it will have on them. Climate change has already taken a large toll on the ecosystem and the people on Earth. One example is there are over 4 million people in this world who have been forced to leave behind their homes, cultures, community, friends, and way of life and can never go back. These people are climate refugees whose homes have become uninhabitable because of climate change. Another example is coral reefs. Research shows that around 80% of all coral reefs will be dead by 2040 as a cause of climate change's rising temperatures. It's the richer countries who have the largest carbon footprints and the poorest countries that have been hit hardest by climate change, but it soon won't matter how much money you have if you don't have a home to live in. My solution. My idea is climate change education and awareness. My idea is designed to teach people about climate change, what it means for the human population, and what they can do as individuals to help lower their emissions. We will spread awareness by creating posters, yard signs, commercials, websites, and marches. When we're talking about climate change, we aren't just talking about the temperature rising 2 degrees, we're talking about human extinction. If we can teach people ways to use less water, create less trash, and use less energy, then we can start to make a difference in our carbon emissions. This is a huge step in the direction of reducing and offsetting our carbon footprints. These are some of the posters that we would hang up. That one's just for raising awareness, and this one teaches people stuff that they can do to reduce their carbon emissions. These are signs, like yard signs, that you can put in your yard to help raise awareness. We need to make a difference in climate change, and we can learn to do that through my solution.
Welcome back. Next up, we have Adelaide McKee, a 6th grader from Brookridge Elementary School, bringing us her next great idea, the Stress Bud.
Hi, I'm Adelaide McKee, and this is the Stress Bud. Have you ever been stressed? I have, and my friends have been too. Like when you have something due at work or school. You go home and have something to do right away. What stress can lead you to? It can make you more likely to feel depressed, risk of heart attack and stroke as an adult, suppress your immune system, speeds up aging process, and more. Symptoms of stress, emotional and physical. Headaches, upset stomach, sleeping problems, worry, easily frustrated, low energy, and more. Anxiety stats. According to CDC website, 9.4 children up as old as 3 to 17 years old have anxiety problems in 2016 to 2019. This is an increase in kids diagnosed. This is why I think the Stress Bud would be a great invention. In the next slide, you will see the invention I have been talking about. This is the original design. I think it would help because when I'm stressed, I like to focus on something, and I think this would help me focus on anything and other people. As you can see from the picture, the Stress Bud can have soothing smells. You can get different smells like lavender, vanilla, just kind of calming ones. Squishy, allergy and school friendly, has a light that pulses to help with block breathing that is connected to a phone. Block breathing is a type of breathing that you breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes in a cycle. And encouraging words on STEM. The budget. So the squishy is $2. The flower pot is $2. The LED lights each are $1. 33 cents. The balsa wood to cut the low disc is 20 cents. The essential oils are 27 cents. And the packaging box is $5. That would get a total of $9.80. The sale price would be $12, so I would get a profit of $2.20. Making the prototype was help from my dad. I designed the stem and 3D printed it with my 3D printer. I painted the stem green and painted the flowers pink. Of course, if you don't want the flowers to be pink, you can make them blue or any color. And then putting it together, you will glue the pieces together, make the smelly disc, install the light, and glue on positive words and make the smelly wood chip. This is the prototype finished. Additional ideas I think would be really cool are soft pedals to give like a velvety feel to it, a heart monitor to see if you're getting calmer, calming music, a fidget ring that would go on the stem with the little beads, separate scent discs, biodegradable, and a battery-powered light. Stress is a big problem and this can fix it. Thank you for listening.
All right, well done, Adelaide. Judges, what questions do you have?
Very nice work. Nice work on your prototype and a good presentation. Thank you. I'm curious, how do you plan to scale production when you start selling hundreds or even thousands of these?
So I think we'll sign a patent. I can't say it. Patent, and we'll see maybe if some toy companies could sell it, or maybe even major companies like Target or something.
Great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, so stress is a big thing that unfortunately does not go away. Have you talked to potential people that would be using this product?
So I've talked to my school friends, and they want one really bad. I actually got this idea from a friend who's always really stressed. So, yeah.
Do you see this product being ideal for just kids, or could you see yourself developing a prototype for people that are a little bit older? Is there a specific demographic or age group that you're hoping to target with this product?
Well, I'm basing it mostly on kids, but maybe later I could make an adult one, maybe. It just depends on if I win or if I don't.
Any other questions, judges? No? All right, big round of applause for Adelaide. Nice job. All right, we will take a short break, let the judges tabulate, and we will be back shortly.
Hi, my name is Han Millenbrook, and the title of my project is Put the Prairie Back in Prairie Village. Habitat loss from industry, housing, agriculture, and other development has had devastating impact on wildlife. As an example, over the last 2 decades, monarch butterfly populations have decreased by around 80%. The main cause is the loss of milkweed due to agriculture and herbicides. The answer? Native prairie plants. With their deep roots, they can tolerate drought and heat while cleaning our air and water, slowing flooding, and providing habitat for wildlife. Prairie areas on school properties, such as this large green space at the Center for Academic Achievement, give students hands-on lessons in environmental science, biology, botany, and other STEM subjects, while also providing a valuable habitat and ecological benefits for wildlife students and the community. My project is to document SMSD's natural and prairie green spaces through photography. My purpose is to raise awareness of SMSD's natural areas and their benefits to students, wildlife, and communities, hopefully encouraging other schools, local organizations, and municipalities to create their own natural areas and wildlife habitats. My ask is access to the Shawnee Mission Environmental Science Lab, and the prize money would be used to purchase a digital camera and other equipment to capture from a distance the birds and other wildlife who make their home in SMSD natural areas. The natural areas that I will be documenting are the Center for Academic Achievement's Prairie Area and the Shawnee Mission Environmental Science Laboratory. I will share the high-resolution images with the Shawnee Mission School District so they can be printed and displayed at the CA or other buildings. And these are a few photos that I took of the prairie areas during the winter. So this is at the Center for Academic Achievement. And this is at the Environmental Science Lab. Thank you for your consideration. I hope I get a chance to photograph these sites.
And welcome back. I'm excited to introduce our next young innovator, Haley Bethurum, a 5th grade student at Highlands with her big idea, Soccer Saves the Future.
My name is Haley Bethurum, and I love to play soccer. I think soccer shoes are the most important piece of equipment, and I want to give everyone the opportunity to use high-quality soccer shoes. Soccer shoes are expensive, so not everyone can use good ones. More than 265 million people play soccer each year, and one pair of soccer shoes might last only 5 months. This means that one player uses at least 2 pairs of soccer shoes each year that cost between $86 and $171. One player may need more than one type of shoe, depending on the surfaces they play on. Statistics show that children from lower income families are less likely to play soccer. People who can't afford to buy soccer shoes oftentimes throw them away when they are still in good shape. More than 12 million soccer shoes are thrown away each year. And one pair of cleats might take almost 1,000 years to biodegrade. Think about all of these millions of shoes taking up to 1,000 years to biodegrade and polluting our planet. I have worked with my mentor, Bill Moran, professor of computer science at Avila University, to create a website that allows people with good soccer shoes to send their shoes to those who can't afford to buy new shoes. Anyone with an internet connection can shop for the perfect pair of shoes to make them play their best. This idea is innovative because I will help reduce the amount of shoes thrown in landfills, while allowing kids to help other kids. Think of this like eBay, but the person posting the shoes pays to send the shoes to the person in need. This idea is called Soccer Saves the Future. I am competing in the Shawnee Mission School District, the next Great Idea Pitch competition, hoping to achieve 2 things. First, to raise awareness about my website so that I can get more participants. I have talked with my soccer club about promoting the website and have started a conversation with Casey Current about supplying lightly used shoes. Second, if I win the prize money, I will use it to convert from a website to a mobile-friendly app and to travel around the city promoting my app to other soccer clubs. I want to empower kids to help other kids while reducing carbon emissions and waste. Please vote for me, Haley.
All right, nice job, Haley. Judges, we have about 2 minutes for questions.
Good job, Haley. Can you help me connect the dots between how that pair of shoes gets connected to its eventual owner?
So basically, the person who has the shoes takes a picture of them on this app or website and puts them on like a little bar that people who can't afford to buy new shoes can look at, and then they press the button and like press buy, and then the person who takes a picture of them will get like a text or an email, and they can just ship them to the person in need.
Awesome. Thank you.
So you said you were in conversation with different organizations and you're working with the professor, which is awesome. Can you kind of explain where you are starting this and where you want to take this? So like, is this something that you're just going to focus with your club and your organization? Just elaborate on that a little bit.
So I'm starting just like around here in little soccer clubs around here and with just soccer shoes, but hopefully I will expand to like the whole US and maybe to other countries, and maybe even like not just soccer shoes, maybe like other sports equipment.
How do you plan on making money off of this? Were you thinking of taking a transaction fee? Are you going to charge a upfront flat fee? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not going to be making money on this. It's going to be a nonprofit. So that's part of the reason I need money for this. It's so that I can like register it as a 5013C and hopefully even like make it a thing where the person who sends the shoes doesn't even have to pay to send them. It can just be like a free shipping thing.
Any other questions, judges? Nope. All right, time is up. Another round of applause for Haley. Well done. All right, we will have a chance for our judges to make some notes, and we will be back at 11 o'clock.
Hello, my name is Henry Becklin. My idea for my pitch is Utility Closet, which is a device that installs plumbing, HVAC, and electrical panels in new construction houses in a single day. Our problem is labor shortages and price increases. Electricians has a 10% labor shortage, which results in a price increase of 66% in the last 10 years. HVAC has a 40% labor shortage and a 52% price increase in the last 10 years. And plumbing has a 55% labor shortage and a 100% price increase in the last 10 years. We created factory-built modules that reduce cost and time, and they can be installed in a few hours. Utility closet units include furnace, a water heater, and an electrical panel. Traditional construction costs $31,000 for electrical, HVAC, and plumbing on average. Utility closet only costs around $10,000. We make weeks of work into a single day. First, we have factory-built modules for quality control, speed, and lower cost. Then we transport the modules to a job site on a flatbed truck. Then we move the modules from truck to building with a crane, dropped into the house before roof decking is installed. When pipes, wires, and ductwork are installed inside the walls, unbox the utility closet and hook it all up. Our unit economics. It is $3,480 to manufacture one of these modules, and we will be selling them for $10,000, which is a 65% gross margin. Our total addressable market is $14 billion, with 1 million single-family homes built per year and 400,000 multi-family homes built per year. Our serviceable addressable market is $4.8 billion. There are 400,000 multi-family homes built per year and 81,000 built-to-rent single-family homes per year. Our use of funds will be mechanical engineering, which is $400, software, which is $100, renderings of the project, $300, prospect and expert interview, which is $400, and market testing, which is $300. I'm Henry Becklin. I hope you choose my idea of utility closet. It's the best project on here.
Well, we have seen some pretty amazing pitches so far, and we're going to keep the momentum going. Up next is an 8th grade student from Indian Hills Middle School, Michael Yee, with his next great idea, Ready for Hire.
Hi, my name is Michael Yee, and my next big idea is Ready for Hire. On any given night in Kansas City, 1,798 people suffer without the safety of homes. But it's not just a big brash news headline, it's a community issue, and it's our community issue. So here are the statistics. 1,798 people are homeless on any given night in Kansas City. Around 400 of those are under the age of 18, without the same social nets that you and I take for granted. Over 800 are victims of physical abuse or are veterans, and 438 of them live unsheltered any given night. Homelessness spiked by 15% over the pandemic, and to make matters even worse, recent Missouri legislature banned state-owned lands for unauthorized sleeping, camping, or the construction of long-term shelters. So this is our community problem. Today, I'm here to present to you my community solution. My solution is a nonprofit organization dedicated to streamlining the process between being homeless and being employed through a very efficient program, through quality online job and life curriculum and involved in-person assistance. It's called Ready for Hire. So Ready for Hire will work in 2 steps. In step 1, we're going to build a Khan Academy style online curriculum to teach job and life skills, which will be accessible through libraries, library computers, and then later laptops and homeless shelters. These courses will be developed by volunteer educators and then possibly local businesses. To best help our students get jobs, we would cover 4 main areas. 1 would be financial skills, which would be financial literacy, negotiation, and workers' rights. This would be life skills like public speaking, time management, and basic technology skills. These would be mental health skills, which are incredibly critical for the homeless, including mental health exercises, addiction courses, and depression education. We would also, of course, the main focus is to get the homeless jobs. So we would focus on a variety of course offerings to teach them job skills, such as operation of factory equipment, basics in hair cutting, waiting tables, and many others. The possibilities are endless once we have this infrastructure. So in step 2, we're aimed to provide on-the-job experience, as going in person will solidify their skills and comprehension. Eventually, we want to work with local businesses and nonprofits to get them job opportunities. This could be a variety of jobs from barber to delivery driver, warehouse worker, chef, janitor, receptionist. The possibilities are massive, as I said earlier. Once they graduate, they'll be certified and endorsed by Ready for Hire, which will help them get jobs in the future as credibility in our program grows. After graduation, we will still work closely with our graduates to make sure they can get support they need, such as clothing and transportation for job interviews, and then also negotiating times for them to have transportation for their jobs across the bus lines. Once the students finish the digital curriculum and in-person requirements to be certified by Ready for Hire in a particular career, they would be, oh, sorry, this is what I said earlier. But yeah, they would be certified and they would be promoted by us, and we can support them later. So when thinking about other homeless organizations in KC, I don't think of it so much as competition, but as partnerships. While other organizations are focusing on things like shelter, providing food and clean water, clean clothes and necessities, that's where Ready for Hire comes in, with a fresh new focus on education, life skills, and job opportunities. Our online method of education and efficient streamlining of the homeless to employed process is what makes Ready for Hire special. Of course, Ready for Hire will utilize partnerships with more established organizations for expertise and for developing our program. We would draw people into our program through group advertising and through events held by our partner organizations such as Project Homeless Connect KC. We would use the expertise from our fellow organizations to help us run our organization and then possibly fund our laptops and homeless shelters with these partnerships. And then also many businesses and nonprofits are hiring the homeless like Scraps KC, so we can use those partnerships to help people get jobs once our students graduate the program. So I went ahead and reached out to the Johnson County and Kansas City library systems, and I told them about my idea, and they had some really good feedback. Library systems support this idea and recommending using public library computers first to cut costs. They also said that we could use their community meeting rooms, which they have in the libraries, which are accessible for all nonprofits, so we can work with our students and the curriculum with those meeting rooms. Overall, they also had me contact with the KC Library Community Service Program, who I can communicate with once we start operations. I also reached out to Restart Inc., which is a large KC-based homeless assistance organization, and they reached me out to their job placement coordinator, who I can also start working with if I got funding. So this is a simple Google Sites. It's a mock-up I made in Google Sites, but this is basically what I want my website to look like, and we can build curriculum after we get the domain and build the platform. We're going to start with creating our website, then develop more connections with our local businesses and nonprofits. We want to start our program with a small student base just to get things running, and then we arrange time and transportation for them to enter in our program and do our sessions. So here's my budget. I would like to allocate some software experts to design the platform, and I've allocated the rest of the funds for subsidizing the earlier developers of the program and the students for devoting their time to a brand new program. We would also need some mentorship from local entrepreneurs, and then 5 people to run daily operations and 5 volunteer educators to start building the curriculum. So that's Ready for Hire. Any questions?
All right. Nice job, Michael. We have about 2 minutes for questions from the judges.
Definitely nice job, Michael. Thank you. You talked about the other organizations that provide things for those experiencing homelessness. I'm curious, did you talk with those organizations specifically about your idea, and or did you talk to anyone who's personally experiencing homelessness and ask them, is this something that would fit into your life and help solve a problem?
So can you repeat the beginning of your question?
I'm curious if you talked to any of the local organizations. It sounds like you worked across the state line, which is great. Did you talk to any of them about how this would help the people that they're serving? And did you talk to anyone who is currently experiencing homelessness to ask if this is something they'd be interested in?
So I talked to Restart Inc. and they gave me some basic tips about how this would help homeless people. They think it's a good idea, and they gave some simple advice. But then I actually reached out to the Kansas City Library System, and they reached me to their not the job placement coordinator, but someone who runs operations for community outreach, and they were really helpful. They sent me this really long, detailed email about all the steps that it would take from getting people into our program to getting people taking our program and then jobs. So they really helped me understand the process this would take. That was really helpful.
Thank you.
This is great. Starting a nonprofit is a challenge, but it can be also super rewarding and is right up my alley. My first question is, do you have a plan for how you're going to establish your basic framework in terms of like legal paperwork? And then second, how are you going to sustain this nonprofit?
First of all, I'm not 100% sure on the legal nonprofit yet, so I would reach out to organizations so I would understand that kind of framework. And on the other side of things, what was the second thing you said? Sorry.
How you would sustain operations?
Yeah, we would be partially funded by our partnerships, but then also user donations, because a lot of nonprofits run that way. And then, sorry, that's it.
You had mentioned providing clothes, rides, and several other things. Where do you plan to outsource those from?
Clothes and jobs, that might be from the Greater Kansas City Coalition to End Homelessness. I know they are really broad in their work. In general, I think that could just be a matter of funding or volunteers, but we want to start small and then work our way bigger.
All right, another round of applause for Michael. All right, judges need just a minute to do their work, and we will be back at 11:15 for the last of our 9 final pitches.
Sometimes we underestimate the power of education. 1 in 5 people worldwide don't have access to education, according to Pew Research. Not being adequately educated has a severe impact on their own daily lives and the global economy. We acknowledge that and hope to find a solution. However, we're just kids, so let's take it one step at a time and first make a difference in our community. The result? Co-study. We named it that because we're all in this together.
With the rise of more students in school, more and more young learners forget about their academic lives and focus on their personal lives. And that's okay. But if they can't realign their path soon, well, a D or an F doesn't look very good on a report card. What's more, the long-term consequences are more serious. Whereas, indeed, most colleges don't look at middle school report cards to determine acceptance, with a few exceptions. This misleads students into not trying in middle school. In high school, where the grades and assignments are real, the student in question cannot complete them effectively, which has a seriously negative impact on college and their future life. They may drop out of high school, which severely hurts the economies in many ways. If we could only increase the national graduation rate to 90%, over $25 billion would be saved in crime and Medicaid costs, also creating over 75,000 jobs, equating to an economic boost of about $11 billion. What our students need is an effective management tool that reminds and encourages them to keep pushing for a good job and great life.
The leading reasons why middle school students don't pass courses and high school students fail or drop out are unacceptable grades and too many school days missed. We intend to fix that. CoStudy is a virtual application designed for assignment collaboration. If a student doesn't understand or miss the material, and the teacher didn't take the time to fully catch a student up on what he or she missed, their friends can explain the content to them via a CoStudy chat. And CoStudy can generate a short review assignment to make sure they don't attempt the real assignment blindfolded. CoStudy can also be used to assign partner or team assignments with commonly used project tools like Calendar, Chat, Google Slides, Docs, and Sheets built in and automatically shared. CoStudy can also be used to socialize and make new friends, making serious mental problems preventable by making people feel like they have a purpose and that they matter. We plan to make our project come to life with a Python HTTP server and a Java or C++ desktop client. When the school year starts, we will release our app to teachers in closed beta and then make it public. To conclude, we are asking for $1,500 in startup funds and a connection to some volunteer testing teachers to first make an impact locally and then on a big scale. We may also need a marketing expert to successfully sell our product to the targeted audience. Our budget sheet shows how we plan to make our project come to life.
That's one small step for kids, one giant leap for education.
We are back with our final pitch in the Next Great Idea pitch competition. Our final innovator is Mariam Sufi. She is a 10th grade student at Shawnee Mission East High School, and her big idea is Globlang.
What if you could just pick up Les Miserables by Victor Hugo and start reading it in French? My name is Mariam Sufi, and that's what I thought I would be able to do by now, way back in 6th grade when I first enrolled in the language. But here's the thing, 4 years later, though I know most of the essential grammar and a good amount of vocab, when it comes to putting it all together into real sentences and real fluency, I have no idea how. Can I ask you all, how many of you started a language course in school? Okay, now keep your hand up if you are currently fluent or even semi-fluent in that language. So clearly, there's an issue here. And the numbers back that up. It's not just us. The percent of students taking language courses drops from 13 to 7% from K through 12 to college. And this matters. According to a report from the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, a lack of language ability in the United States could leave us at a competitive disadvantage in an increasingly global and multilingual society. So, the problem is that with our current system of education, students are often gaining only a beginner's understanding of a language before they stop progressing. Students are in need of a new kind of practice. First, this practice needs to somehow simulate immersion while helping students grow so that intermediate students can bridge that gap from beginner to advanced. It also needs to be engaging and varied so that students enjoy their learning and are focused the whole time. And finally, this practice should have retention tools so that we can create that learning which lasts. The solution to this problem and the answer to this need is my website, which I've named Globlang. The main tool is the reading practice tool. First, you choose your target language, and then the site finds an interesting excerpt in that language on the internet for you to translate. And here you can see me looking through the languages, picking French, and then I'm going to generate a random text in that language. Then you're given each sentence individually, and you type what you think it means in English. If you're not sure of a specific word, you can click on it to get the meaning. So here, I'm not sure what the word "vie" means, so I can click on it. I see it means life, and now I can interpret the rest of the sentence from context and my prior knowledge. And after each sentence, you can see how accurate you were compared to a machine-generated translation. Here, I got 83% similar, and I can see that what I wrote was pretty accurate. Once you're finished with your practice, you can see a comparison for all the sentences you've translated. And you can even download the words you didn't know to easily create flashcards for practice later. So here I download my words, and then I'm importing them into the flashcard software, Anki. Though there are other digital learning tools out there like Duolingo and Conjugamos, these tools only give you beginner exercises in a limited number of languages. By drawing on the internet, my site can offer unlimited practice in pretty much every existing language. And there are other reasons which make this tool especially effective and useful. First, e-learning is proven to help students retain between 25% and 60% more information. Additionally, according to a Cambridge study, exposure to foreign language texts is highly effective for language learning. And finally, this tool could be especially useful to AP or IB language students, as both need to be able to correctly interpret books and articles for success in their courses. And this site has already begun to help people. It's coded and usable. I use it myself to practice regularly. I have several students testing it in various languages, a teacher giving me feedback, as well as a social media page with hundreds of people interested and engaged with the idea. And the future offers even more possibilities. This summer, I plan to develop a few more features, including AdSense revenue and a mobile version. Then SEO and social media can greatly expand our user base. And finally, once the product is firmly established, it could expand to even more tools such as those for listening, writing, and speaking. I think the proposed improvements could be completed within 3 to 4 months. After that, within 1 year, I hope to reach 10,000 users, which would provide 500,000 page views and generate an estimated $1,000 of profit per month. But this is only the beginning, with the potential market of 15 million students in the United States alone learning a foreign language. But to reach these goals, I'm asking for your help. First, I ask you to offer any mentorship or connections you may have in development or search engine optimization. Additionally, I'd like to use $1,500 of funds for the following needed for expanding the site's functionality and visibility. First, an SEO consultancy, a review of the code for functionality and efficiency, and finally, some initial funding of the API and server. GlobeLang has the potential to become a tool for any language learner anywhere, and I ask you to help me let these learners thrive in our interconnected world. Thank you, and feel free to go check it out at globe-lang.com.
Fantastic job, Mariam. Judges, 2 minutes for questions.
Wonderful presentation. I was one of those people that put my hand up. Yes, I studied Spanish several times. I studied French. I can't speak either. When you put up your example, it was in French, and I went, wow, that's some pretty serious stuff to translate. Does your product graduate up from a lower level? Does it get harder as you go?
So basically, the idea is that it's for people who already have a basic understanding of grammar and vocab and just need lots and lots of practice to get there. So because you can click on the words you don't know, that lets you build your vocab and build your understanding of the grammar and everything. And then as you keep using it, you'll have to click on stuff less and you'll have to do less flashcards and things to get your understanding to that level.
Thank you.
Have you talked with any potential users on how this would help them?
Yeah, so I've talked with some of my siblings, some of my friends that are in language courses, and I also reached out to some people that I know through a coding club that I did to get their feedback. And so people kind of said it was useful, and they had a few recommendations like changing the size of the text input field and maybe the font, the colors, things like that. But people think that it's a pretty good idea and it could help them out.
Obviously, it costs money to keep a website up, and you had mentioned running ads to generate revenue. Are there any specific companies or industries that you're trying to target to throw ads up on your website? Are you already doing that?
So my current plan is to do it through Google AdSense revenue, and I think the way that it works from what I've read is you say oh, this is an educational website, and then they reach out to their advertisers and they get people who would want to advertise to people who are using an educational website.
I've got a follow-up if I may. There are a lot of competitors out in the market that have already tried to tackle this. How exactly did you land on this as a solution? What kind of research did you do?
Well, really, I just drew from my personal experiences as a language learner and also those studies and things that I cited because I've just wished that I had a way to practice reading things without actually having to get out a text and look up individual words myself in a dictionary or something like that. So that's how I came upon this idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mariam. Another round of applause. And would you please give a rousing second round of applause for all 9 of these amazing students who pitched this morning. You've seen all 9 pitches, from 5th graders to 10th graders, with ideas ranging from health and safety devices, like the baby bracelet, to world language support, like you just saw with GlobeLang, applications to innovations to help you with your pet, like the MeowBot, and so many others this morning. So many amazing ideas coming out of such young innovators. It's so exciting, and I think the future looks so bright. For everyone here and everyone watching at home, now we need your help. It's your time to weigh in. On the screen is information for you to be able to access our People's Choice voting. You can vote for your favorite pitch, and the student with the most votes will win a $500 cash prize. You will have up until 12:30 p.m. to vote for your favorite pitch, so we hope that you will join us in that. and we will be back at 2 p.m. today for the R&D Forum Awards ceremony. At that time, we will recognize all of our award winners in our R&D showcase categories, as well as announce the Next Great Idea pitch winners and our Rainier Award winners. 3 innovators in the pitch are going to walk away with the ability to have up to $2,500 to put toward their education and further their ideas. Before we wrap up, judges, you just witnessed 9 pretty amazing young innovators. I'd love for each of you to just take a moment and share some final comments about today's experience.
Happy to go first. It was so neat to see the diversity of these kids, the age ranges that they come from, elementary to high school. It's really impressive, the presentation skills that they've been able to gain from this experience. I think that every student should have the opportunity to get in front of and really experience that heartbeat, that pressure, the moments of stress, because this just opens up the world for them as they move forward. If they can conquer this, they can do anything.
I would say, as someone who's been up on that stage, like you said, I know how nerve-wracking and stressful that experience can be. But I will say every single idea that was pitched today was absolutely amazing, whether they were in elementary school or high school. Just the creativity and the uniqueness of every idea was awesome. And I would encourage everyone to pursue their ideas despite the outcome of whatever this will be. Pursue your ideas, go forward with them, because it might sound cliche, but when one door closes, another one opens. So, yeah.
I just have great words of encouragement. Everyone that pitched today did the hardest thing so far. Everything else is going to be so much easier. Getting up in front of these people is not easy, and it's the hardest part of starting a non-for-profit or a business. I encourage every single one of you to pursue this idea. You never know where it'll take you, and just stay dedicated and work hard, and everything else will fall into place.
Thank you. Well, I don't think we envy you. You've got a hard task ahead of you. Would everyone help me please thank our judges for their time and talent today? I want to again thank our partners from Startland, also our Shawnee Mission School District incredible team that helps us put this presentation together. And I also want to recognize we had many district administrators and our building principals who joined us today, and teachers who have been supporting along with our incredible family members. So give everyone a round of applause. It takes all of these people to make this a success. All right, so don't forget to vote for People's Choice, and we will be back at 2 p.m. to announce all of our winners. Thank you all so much for being with us today and for watching at home.